All right, Ferdinand, Clovis, thank you and welcome to the Bear Right Trail podcast. Um, just so excited to have you here on our JFK preview and to talk about what you're doing with your trail running, what brought you to the East Coast, and just kind of celebrate whatever journey you're on there. Ferdinand is a runner with Airault Racing, as well as T8, and he is located in New York, New York. So right here in the heart of the East Coast, and we're very excited to have you on here. Um, tell us what's going on. How you feeling? You ready for this race coming up?
Thank you so much, Sam. Yeah, so happy to be there in this podcast, and honored to kick off with the first episode. So that's great. I left my job 1 year ago to see if I can like help facilitating the trail running and the outdoor in big cities and like New York. And I'm so pleased to have like people along with me on this project to develop trail running in East Coast. So yeah, that's great news. For JFK, listen, I really go there as my last race of the season. Um, I will see if I'm recovered because I did Javelina and the week after New York City Marathon. So it was like actually 1 week ago, 2 weeks ago, something like that. So yeah, just a little bit of recovery before tackling this legendary race, and I'm excited just to have fun. And to be honest, this is the first 50 miler of my spouse, so I'm even more excited for her. And I would say my objective is to have a good memory
Wow,
of this weekend alongside you there.
that is awesome. Um, Ferdinand, I'm gonna pause our recording here. We had a bunch of breakups on your end as far as the audio goes. I'm gonna see if I can just take a look at this recording and see if it's just breaking up as far as the sort of live portion
Sure, sure.
goes, and just make sure that your audio is coming through
And I
because it
see
was not
also
clear on my end.
I see some up.
So Ferdinand, I find it seems like this race is, um, you know, just kind of like a little bit of a culmination to the season, and after some big focused events and things along those lines. Um, but was there anything in particular that like drew you to JFK? Anything specific about the race that you thought was going to fit your skill set, or just a reason you wanted to participate in this one?
So yeah, first I'm in the US now for 2 years, and I heard it's the oldest race, oldest ultra in the country. So I was very excited to know how it looks like, and to be part of it, even just participating or doing a nice or having just a nice day there. Also, the second thing is we don't have so many competitive race on East Coast, unless I'm not aware. But in terms of trail running, I I know sometimes breakneck can be a bit competitive, but New York City Trail Fest they tried also to bring some people recently. But yeah, JFK was famous also in West Coast, and Bryce from Aravaipa mentioned to me, you need to do this race. It's a very fast race. It's combining trail running and kind of road running, so it brings the two worlds together. And so I wanted to experience myself to see how it looks like.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely agree with you as far as the sort of perennial nature of this race and it being, it is always competitive, whereas a race like Breakneck Point or Eastern States 100, things along those lines, some years it's going to be competitive, especially Breakneck in years in which it was like it was a selection race for the world's team on two occasions, and in one occasion it was the national championship. So when that happens, yeah, it's going to be a competitive race. at a very elite level. But JFK, with the prize money, with the history, with the amount of careers that it's launched, it's definitely super competitive every time. So you can expect a race. And I know that you're going to be
Yes,
really adding to that race. What is it that you're looking to do there? Like, how do you want to take it on? Do you have an idea about whether you want to hit those trails hard, whether you want to sit back and watch? What's the strategy?
so yeah, the objective number one now is really to enjoy. I put a bit of pressure this year because I tried to run more seriously, even if it has to be a game, and it has been a game even for this year. But some races like Black Canyon, Javelina, where I tried my luck to get a golden ticket. You don't race to do your best race, you race to be top two. And I would say my last experience in Javelina was great because the race was great because I learned a lot. But it was like a really tough day for me. I think I was really prepared. I did like some very good mileage, very good speed work. I trained on trails, I trained on roads. I think I was really ready to win, and even at some point I saw like I was 6 minutes behind David, and I told myself, okay, I'm nailing nutrition, I'm nailing everything. I will succeed. I can maybe catch him. And yeah, at some point I start coughing a lot, and I couldn't move. So I decided to finish by walking, just yeah, by respect for the race, the organizer, my pacer, and it was a cool event. But I was wondering for like days and nights for the following week what happened to this race. And yeah, different theory. Maybe the dust. I had a kind of asthma, or maybe the ice, because I had big ice bandana, and I never ran with ice. I had maybe a thermal shock. But I think the last thing, and I saw that actually on David report, is I think I had a lack of love on this race, and the love like was like love of trail running, love of
Okay.
like of racing with other people. I was really like there to get ticket. And you know, when you don't enjoy like, and you are not relaxed, I feel you get punished in a way, or it's how I felt. And I say, yeah, I lost my the value of why I'm here. And a few days later I couldn't barely walk, and I had my ticket for New York City Marathon, and I told myself, okay, let's go. I had no gel. I enter in the bus. People were asking me, oh, what do you target? What do you have? I say, just like having a nice run. And I felt super good. I relaxed. I didn't look at my watch. I had even a stop to kiss my spouse, and and I did like a very nice time. I did my best marathon ever, and I realized that okay, running is much more than just physiology and like timing and having the best tapper, and it's mental, and being relaxed helped me a lot. Enjoying made me like a good performance, a good day, good memories. So I told myself for JFK there is nothing to win. Like of course a bit of money, a bit of maybe more visibility for the sponsorship or whatever. But I really want to finish the season by having fun. So if I feel good, maybe I will just try to go fast at the start. If I'm feeling just enjoying the trails at the start, maybe being a bit back, and see if I can have a nice day. That's the idea. Really going relaxed without big strategy. I didn't look with there. I know it's gonna be dense. I know maybe we'll have a little bit of snow, and I feel good. But I know also my body is not fully recovered, so I don't have like big expectation apart having fun.
Yeah, I think you're in for a real treat. I really do. I think you're gonna enjoy yourself out there. We've shared some miles on the trails, and you know, when we were running around South Mountain in New Jersey, I think that you can expect to see some of those types of trails there on the Appalachian Trail at the beginning.
Okay.
I've run this race a couple of times, and it's a wonderful trail. It's a wonderfully well-established trail. You're going to start off in that race. The beautiful thing about this race, right? You start off in town. It's dark, but it's a road start, which is kind of cool because you're running with a big pack. You're running with all these people. They're all around you. You're clipping off real quickly, and you kind of run up into the morning into the Appalachian Trail, and up in there, it's great running. It's just great. It's great running up through there. And then you'll have that transition off of Weaverton, off the Weaverton Cliffs, which you should have no problem with whatsoever. And then the canal path, it has its charm as well as its difficulty with just being a marathon straight and flat marathon.
Okay.
In the middle of this thing. So, but each piece has its charm. You have the skill set for it. So I think it's going to be, I think you're going to have a great time out there, and you can let that day come to you. I think what you had said about your New York City experience, your New York City Marathon experience, in that you let the running like serve you instead of you kind of serving a specific goal when you were at Javelina and wanting to be there for that ticket, right? So, letting your running serve you and your needs, I think, was such a big thing. That's awesome. I'm so glad you found that.
Yes, and we'll see. I mean, I think it's always a difficulty when you try to be performance. Is like knowing how to judge your fitness level, the other, and if you need to push from the start or keep it for until the end. But I think what I like also with competitive race like that is you can run with others to perform, and I will really try to do that. I don't go at all for a course record, but maybe it can be my 50-miler record because it's pretty flat, and maybe I can try for a good time, something I would be proud. And I really hope like to work with people to do a good race all together, And if I finish top 10, that would be amazing. And if we can help each other to win a few minutes. We had the Staten Island half marathon recently, and I tried a lot of wind on this race, and I tried to squeeze behind the guy because to protect from the wind, and he was always escaping me. And at some point, I understand like the guy don't want to work for me for nothing. So he was not speaking English. I think he was coming from Mexico. So I tried to speak a few Spanish words, and I went in front of him, and I stayed like 1 minute. And at some point, I told him, okay, your turn. And he took the relay. And we do like 2-3 times. And last time, after maybe a few relays, another guy came and he helped us from nowhere. And we worked together, and we all did a nice PB this day. And I think that's how the running should be, especially trail running. I feel is even more a game than road running. And it's a 50-miler, so it's a ultra. We have to be humble with the distance, and I hope we'll be able to push each other, but also pull each other to do a good day.
Yeah, I think so. I think that I think you should be right up there in the mix, Ferdinand. I fully expect you to be right up there and mixing it up with all these guys. I know that you go out strong but controlled, right? And within yourself, but within yourself is fast, so you're going to be right there, I think it's going to be great. So you've made some big moves. Some big changes in your life in order to make space for trail running and racing. What do you see as like the big picture over the next couple of years? and how does the East Coast trail running fit into that for you? You talked a little bit about some different things as far as like we've talked previously at other times about creating a racing bigger racing culture here on the East Coast. So maybe you could share some of those ideas with us
Yeah.
today.
Sorry, sometimes there is a little bit of lag, so I didn't hear
No
everything, but
worries.
what I can answer is I took so just to give a little context very quickly, 2016 I arrived in Hong Kong. I was not doing any sports. I had glasses. I was I cannot say big, but a bit fat, drinking beers and smoking cigarettes like a good French guy working in finance, and I after 2 years of like partying pretty hard. I think this helped for ultra, by the way. But anyway, a friend of mine who is nowadays in New York. I saw her this morning, so that's very funny. Was in my company, told me, "Oh, I'm doing a 100K with three other friends for charity. It's called Oxfam Trail Walker, so pretty famous in Hong Kong. Do you want to join us?" And I joined them, and I had like the best night ever. Better than any party, anything. We were just all together in the mountains, having fun, and I realized like I could have like this pleasure of the night without being in a club or whatever. And from this day, I think it changed my life. And I had another view on what would be my life, and everything evolved step by step. My girlfriend, who is now my wife, took a bit the same direction. She also stopped, quit smoking, and partying too hard and drinking and whatever to do also some sports. And we changed a bit our life ambition, I would say. And when we arrived in New York 2 years ago, I was still in finance, and I was a bit sad of not having the trails at the same proximity that we had in Hong Kong, because in Hong Kong we could go by. I was using the trail to go walking, so it was like trails everywhere. I think it's the best place if you are working in finance and want to do trail running. I think it's the best place in the world. And so I told the occasion to start road running. I had no PB in whatever distance, because I never raced road. So I learned this kind of new sport, and I really enjoyed. And I mixing, I think, the endurance of trail and the speed of track and road. I realized that I could do something, I think, in trail running. At least I really enjoyed, and that there is really a desire in big cities like Hong Kong, New York, Paris, London to develop the outdoor. It can be via biking, it can be via road running, but I think trail running is really getting bigger and bigger. And the mountains finally are not so far. If you go in Palisades, in Cold Spring tomorrow, I bring a few guys who never been there, just to see that we are 1 hour 30 from the mountains, and you arrive there. And so I told myself, maybe before having kids, before having like life where maybe it's difficult to take such a decision, why not trying to live my dream and train as best as I can. So read a lot about running, listen a lot about running, and train as best I can, which I decided. So obviously staying in New York is not easy. So I went this year in Kenya, in Patagonia, in Madeira, in Europe also, to see the trails and trains there. And my idea is for the next 2 years, or at least one more year, to continue doing that, living a part of my time here in New York, because I like the city, I like the vibes. My family is here, my friends as well, but also traveling abroad to organize a training camp to help people also traveling thanks to running. So, for instance, I will bring a few guys from Canada and from New York with me in Kenya, but also working with companies to explain them. Okay, I was a trader for almost a decade. Now I'm a trail runner. It's total two different worlds, but why not trying to combine that? Because if people are able to do a trail run together, train for the same race, maybe run together, it brings like unity. So it's cohesion, it's team building. It brings wellness, which is super important for your company, and all this team building and wellness resolve like talent retention issues that many big firms now, especially in finance, are facing. So, for instance, we are working with some companies on the 5K JP Morgan challenge to help them having a plan, some regular meetings where we can answer questions about sleep, nutrition, things like that. But I'm working also with individuals who want to go a bit deeper, more on the coaching side, where we talk. I say we because we build the company. We are a few people working on that on Trailblaze, where we help them also individually reaching their goal. Whether they are elite athletes wants to, for instance, there is a guy who just qualified for the world championship in triathlon. So he's working more with my partner who also left to be his career to be a triathlete. Or you have some people who just want to run a marathon, which is like great, and we are accompanying them whatever the time, like to do their dream. So now so this is a bit my challenge is to combine my dream of being the best athlete as possible, best version of myself, while being in New York, but also leveraging the fact that I'm in New York to maybe do more road racing, more track, and develop the outdoor in big cities. And I really think there is potential. For instance, we are organizing a run with a Kilian Jornet Foundation on Normal Saturday, December 14 in Columbus Circle, 8:30. You can come to bring incentive to the people that actually we can run together and talk about the mountains even in the center of Manhattan. And there are many other different things. Like for instance, you are doing this podcast, which is great. I know some people like Airault wants to have more footprint in terms of developing the racing in East Coast. I was discussing with Copper from Trail of Miles to have maybe a kind of league where we have like legs for NYR with ranking, having a individual and team ranking for a kind of trail running competition, maybe having JFK, Breakneck, New York Trail Fest, like putting together to work to have this big challenge along the year. And yeah, you name it, we have many opportunities. We just need like to combine our efforts, our passion, and it's gonna be, I think, a great coming years for the trail running in East Coast and in New York.
Yeah, I totally agree, Ferdinand. I'm very excited. We're gonna hopefully, we'll link to these different events that you have coming up here, especially the run December 14th. Unfortunately, I won't be able to join you there. I'm going to be down at Hellgate 100K, so I will be unfortunately not be able to be with you on that one. But we are going to have to, wrap up here. Yeah, I'm going to be racing Hellgate 100K in Virginia that day. Yeah. So,
wow, so we'll be following that on the podcast.
Yeah, so let's let everybody know where they can follow your JFK journey here, as well as these other pieces with you.
So yeah, you can find me easily on Strava. I post everything. I try to be very transparent on my training. On Instagram or even LinkedIn, I'm there. My Instagram is a bit. It's called Ferdinand Clovis. So it's also my name as a magician. But this little secret, I keep it for another episode.
Okay. Yeah, we'll bring that up on the full length interview. This is just a little preview for everybody. But yeah, Ferdinand, I'll have to go. I hear my dog barking upstairs. I think my son is getting home. So this is the way. This is the way of a amateur podcaster. You've got all kinds of things going on all the time. So yeah, so best of luck to you. I will see you on Friday because I expect to see you at the expo, and we'll make sure to get a few pre-race thoughts from you there for our Instagram as well.
Amazing. Thank you so much for welcoming me. Apologize for my French accent for the people who are listening. I hope I have been clear enough. But yeah, I'm eager to meet you all and to have fun in JFK and the following events. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Sam and Chris, for welcoming me. And see you in JFK in a few days.
All right, thanks again, Ferdinand. Peace.